On the news tonight, EFCC takes bold step against internal corruption, dismisses 27 officers. Plus, Mahama's inauguration, President Bola Ahmed Tinubu promises bilateral relationship. Good evening and welcome to NTA Ijebu ode News at 7. My name is Fatima Azan. The news in details. John Dramani Mahama has been inaugurated as new president of Ghana in his historic transition. President Mahama takes over from Nana Akufo-Addo, who he handed over to 8 years ago. State House correspondent Musba Udan Wahab reports.
Here is the return of John Dramani Mahama. The president is back for his second spell in the office he left 8 years ago after a single term.
So help me God.
Apparently returning with more experience, Mahama is now hoping to reset the Black Star Nation. Acknowledging the current dynamic realities of the world, the Ghanaian president emphasized the importance of international cooperation and the support of his citizens in his quest to achieving the new Ghana they desire. President Mahama says his new administration is setting out with focus on 4 critical areas of economic restoration, improvement of the investment environment, governance and constitution reforms, as well as accountability and fight against corruption.
Together, as we look to the horizon, we reaffirm our dedication to breaking the glass ceiling that has long hindered many from reaching their full potential. Governance that reflects all segments of our population strengthens our democracy and enriches our conversation. We stand committed to enacting policies that empower women and ensure that the door of opportunity is open wide for our youth and our women, regardless of their background.
President Bola Tinubu was there to celebrate the growth of democracy in Africa. And the ECOWAS chairman wants African leaders to strive and cooperate better to lead the majority of Africans out of poverty.
With laser focus, we can tackle our people's most pressing problem of poverty, youth unemployment, instability, insurgency, and many other problems hampering our desired progress.
For other leaders present, it's welcome back to John Dramani Mahama.
What I foresee is that the relationship between the two countries will be further deepened, even under the past leader, Akufo-Addo. This was the case. I can see us breaking new grounds under Mahama, I said, because there's also a personal relationship involved. So many problems will be solved with this kind of personal relationship.
Now the Ghanaians are celebrating the return of John Dramani Mahama and significantly 32 years of democracy, hoping for a greater fortune for the country and its people. From Accra, Musbah and Wahab, NTA News.
20 African leaders, including President Bola Tinubu of Nigeria, attended the inauguration of John Mahama as the president of Ghana. John Mahama succeeds Nana Akufo-Addo, who stepped down after serving 2 terms. Musa Baba Aliyu reports.
The ceremony held in Accra, Ghana was colorful and unique, with millions of people witnessing the transfer of power from Nana Akufo-Addo to the newly inaugurated president, John Mahama.
John Dramani Mahama.
Do in the name of the Almighty God swear.
Do in the name of the Almighty God swear.
That I will bear true faith.
That I will bear true faith.
And allegiance.
And allegiance.
To the Republic of Ghana.
To the Republic of Ghana.
John Mahama was declared the winner of the December 7, 2024 election, defeating the then ruling party. His return to power for a second term also marked the emergence of the country's first female vice president, Professor Jen Nana Apoko.
That I will uphold the sovereignty and integrity of Ghana. The sovereignty and integrity of Ghana.
During his inaugural speech, he says his administration will be committed to improving the country's economy and addressing challenges related to corruption, inflation, and high unemployment.
Today should mark the beginning of a new opportunity, an opportunity for us to make a difference in our governance and our economic management. We shall reset our dear nation, Ghana.
I am here not only as the President of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, but also as an African in resolute support of Ghana and our people. This moment is a source of pride and honor for Ghanaians, the entire continent, and its diaspora.
Other leaders who attended the ceremony included former Nigerian President Goodluck Jonathan and former South African President Jacob Zuma. Musa Baba Aliyu, NTA News.
As part of its infrastructural development plans, Lagos State government has commenced road rehabilitation and reconstruction across the metropolis. This was evident when the team of the Lagos State Public Works Corporation embarked on inspection of ongoing road reconstruction in some parts of the state. Musa Toilat has the details.
Our road is not good though. It's always spoil our vehicle.
So all the tire, the arms and all, it's affecting us.
Tales of woe that used to characterize the Ogba Ijayi road is gradually paving the way for a pleasant motoring experience.
Basically, 6 months ago, this road was unpliable, as in it was horrible. So it's actually very nice to see the Lagos State government stepping in and doing this.
Last year I came here, I could not walk past this place. This place was like a canal. I'm like, what is going on here? But I thank God that the work is going on smoothly.
The completion of this road would definitely impact positively not only on the motoring public in this axis, but of course businesses will also thrive and people can go back to their normal lives.
There's a lot of improvement about the work, and in fact, business is going to come up in Ogba back again.
The rehabilitation work on Ogba Ijayi Road is in 3 phases, and it covers the entire stretch of the road spanning more than 500 meters.
What we're doing is to ensure that this long, troubled axis of Ogba Ijayi Road gets the full attention of the Lagos State government. And we began actually by fixing the drains and then desilting all of the drains that were clogged by years and years of debris.
The Lagos State government is also bringing succor to Ebrikmo Orile corridor, which used to be flood-prone and pothole-ridden.
Sometimes our vehicle will sink inside the pothole here.
So there's a need to rehabilitate this road, because of the security reasons and the constant flooding whenever it rains.
Officials of the Lagos State Public Works Corporation hint that local government and council development areas are benefiting from the ongoing road rehabilitation by the Lagos State government. In Lagos, Musa Toliat, NTA News.
Working towards improving air transportation and provision of infrastructural service towards achieving the Aviation Master Plan is the key priority of the sector in 2025 and beyond. The newly appointed Permanent Secretary, Dr. Ibrahim Abubakar Okana, hinted this as he assumes his new assignment at the Ministry of Aviation and Aerospace Development in Abuja. Aliyu Kebir reports.
Since the beginning of President Tinubu-led administration in 2023, the Nigeria's aviation sector has witnessed significant transformation driven by the government's effort to position the industry as a hub on the African continent and globally. The ministry, through its agencies, have been working round the clock to strengthen safety and security measures with a focus on maintaining international standards in terms of infrastructure development and operations in line with the renewed Hope agenda. It is in line to this, the newly appointed Permanent Secretary to the Ministry, Dr. Ibrahim Abubakar Kana, is committed to as he assumes his new assignment, especially having experience in security, administration, and health.
I'm going to work with all of you, and there is no doubt I also have my reservations about the way our airports are in the country. I hope that we'll all work together to improve them. Count on me in this regard.
In his validatory message, the former Permanent Secretary, Dr. Emmanuel Maribole, has expressed confidence in the new Permanent Secretary, calling on him to carry all stakeholders along towards achieving National Aviation Master Plan. Abuja, Aliu Kabir, NTA News.
In its quest to enforce integrity and rid its workforce of fraudulent elements, the Economic and Financial Crimes Commission, EFCC, dismissed 27 officers from its workforce in 2024. A statement by the head of media and publicity of the commission says that dismissals follows the recommendation of the Staff Disciplinary Committee of the EFCC was ratified by the chairman of the commission, Ola Olukoyede. He reiterated the commitment of the commission to zero tolerance to corruption and acts of misconduct, warning that no officer is immune to disciplinary measures. The Commission wants the public to be alert to the sinister activities of impersonators and blackmailers using the name of the EFCC to extort money from high-profile suspects being investigated. We'll be back shortly after this break. Please stay tuned.
Ijebu Ode, your heritage station.
Nigeria Television Authority, NTA Ijebu Ode Heritage Station. A station that updates you on latest information, news, people day-to-day activities. We promote Nigeria culture. We bring to you educative program and talk shows for young and old. We give you latest updates from the world of sports. We also bring to you updates from the entertainment world. We are the best among the rest. We are available on StarTimes Channel 103 and UHF 63.
NTA Ijebu Ode, your heritage station.
The prevalence of counterfeit as substance, also known as fake drugs, is said to be undermining the progress towards the meeting United Nations Sustainable Development Goals. This scourge also poses great danger to people, often leading to treatment failures and, in extreme cases, death. Chinebere Moya reports the examining factors facilitating the proliferation of fake drugs in Nigeria and ways to mitigate it.
World Health Organization defines counterfeit medicines as substandard pharmaceutical products that are produced and sold with the intent to deceptively represent their authenticity, origin, or effectiveness. The risk of the existence of such products in healthcare provision remains a significant threat to public health. One major contributing factor to the prevalence of counterfeit medicines in Nigeria is the continued presence of the highly unregulated open drug markets across major cities in the country. However, despite government efforts to crack down on these criminal syndicates, the problem has remained unabated.
When you buy the drugs, you see that there's a NAFDAC and it's not expired. You make sure you scratch it, you test it, for you to know if it is original.
Every counterfeit drug is a poison. So if they don't have that mindset of taking diligence to make sure they buy a quality drug, then they are at the risk of killing themselves or damaging their system.
It's an offense to give out to the public a counterfeit drug. It's an offense punishable by the law.
For experts in the practice of pharmaceutical business, ensuring standards in the sales and marketing of drugs that will contribute positively to the advancement of health care is imperative.
When you begin to see a manufacturing date or expiry date looking double, begin to suspect. It's supposed to be clearly written, but the fraudulent people these days, they revalidate products.
Health watchers say sustaining awareness on the dangers of consuming substandard drugs and introduction of stiffer penalties for violators are key measures to nip the menace in the bud. In Port Harcourt, Chidiebere Onya.
That'll be all for tonight's package. Join us tomorrow for more interesting stories. Have a good night rest.